Aubrey here with Simply Spiritual. How's it going? So today is October 1st. However, when I put out this video, it's probably going to be a few days from now, but it's October. And the last couple of months just seem to just fly by, which is just insane. So we're basically at the end of the year almost. So we're basically like in the last quarter of the year. And I wanted to share some very special and important predictions for you guys so that way you can be prepared as to what to expect during the last quarter of this year. So that way you could be ready and hopefully in a good place with your life, because it's going to be super important for you to stay grounded, stay balanced, meditate, practice mindfulness, whatever it is that you need to do to get by, because I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be pretty intense. But there are some major positives to be coming out of these circumstances. So it's not for doom and gloom as always, but more kind of just a way to prepare you so that way you know what to look forward to, so that way you know how to handle the situations when they come up. But also I want to let you know that this is going to be a catalyst for some amazing changes ahead, because we are almost out of this craziness. So yay, be excited. So what I am going to start off with is kind of like the scary predictions, so that way you know what to be prepared for. And then I'm going to also shed some light at the end of the tunnel for you guys, so that way hopefully you know, walk away from this video feeling somewhat okay. So yeah. All right. So I did some channeling the other day in order to get these predictions. I actually wrote a list of them, and they were channeled from my guides. This was on September the 28th when I got this information. However, they do seem to be in line with what I wrote back in August, because I saw major changes happening in the month of October. Just crazy changes. So my guides definitely indicated there are big changes to come. So what's great about the October month is that at the end of this month is going to be the signifier of what you would consider the Great Awakening. Now, just as a disclaimer, this isn't associated with the QAnon groups that talk about the Great Awakening. However, on a global consciousness scale, there is a Great Awakening happening. And so we are actually starting to see that mass collective waking up. We're also, you know, a lot of my predictions have come true so far since my predictions that I made back in March. We're starting to see global protests. We're starting to see a lot of radical shifts, changes, movements, restructuring that's starting to happen. And we're all starting to see this energy unfold, which is really good news. So basically we are on par of where we need to be right now as a collective. So even though it is very turmoil oriented, it doesn't mean that we're doomed. And in fact, again, the predictions that I made makes, you know, it basically defines that we are on the path that we need to be for the creation of this new change, this new earth that we're shifting into. So it's exciting. In the month of October, we're going to see some really wild events when it comes to natural disasters. Now, we already kind of started to see that in the month of September with all the fires that we've had, which I did warn you guys about. I saw fires being pretty intense, and that happened. However, I don't feel like we're quite out of the woods yet when it comes to the fires. I feel like we are going to start to experience a bit more of that in the coming month or so, so just be prepared. One thing that I actually get as far as the energy in the month of October are earthquakes, however. So we're starting to feel that like shifting movement beginning to happen. The earth is angry, it's feeling the volatile nature of the collective consciousness, so it's going to start to react in ways where, you know, the earth is going to start actually moving. We're already starting to see a little bit of this happening in California. A little worried about the San Andreas fault. It's been pretty active lately, so I'm kind of bracing myself for an earthquake in the state of California. So just be cautious, because I do feel like there are going to be some very big events coming. I feel like hurricanes, they're also going to be stronger, more powerful coming up towards the middle part of this month. Right now that we are in Mars retrograde, which is why things have been a little calmer, but it comes out this month, and then we're also going to go into Mercury retrograde. When Mercury retrograde happens beginning on October 13th is when we're really going to see that energy just going haywire. So it's important to notice, like, after that particular date, when things actually really start to get a little crazy, especially when it comes to communications, because communication is going to just be all over the place. It's going to be very tumultuous. It's going to be very angry, very vocal. So I think we're going to definitely see a lot more protesting and riot energy around that time frame. Now we're already in Mercury retrograde shadow, so we are starting to feel the effects of it. But yeah, we're really going to start to see a lot of chaos ensuing with this particular Mercury retrograde. Luckily, it's the last one of the year, so you won't have to worry until next year, because they happen every 3 months. So I am seeing a lot of revolutionary energy taking place this month too, which I'm actually really excited about that, because it means that people are starting to wake up. They're starting to realize that what's happening in the world is unfair, it's unjust, it's hurting a lot of people with the lockdowns. And so we're going to see a lot bigger energy coming forward on a global scale, and starting to see more of an uprising happening. Hence the segue into the Great Awakening. We're going to see even the education system that seems to be highlighted very significantly in this month of October. I feel like there might end up being a little bit more strikes or protests with teachers because they're not okay with how the system is being ran. It's very politicized. So I feel like they're going to be a little bit more vocal when it comes to education. I do feel like there could possibly be another incident that occurs that takes place with the police. It could actually be another shooting, and with that shooting will come more of that violent energy with the riots, etc. Just know that if there is one, I very, very strongly feel that this is going to be deliberately orchestrated. Like somehow this is being manufactured. So either the police get paid off for it, or it's some sort of like ruse. But when you do see this, just heed my words. This is orchestrated, and it's being deliberately done in order to cause mass chaos. And I'm sure a lot of you guys understand or have an understanding as to why all of this chaos is ensuing. A lot of it is revolved around the elections. They're really trying their best to make sure that they sway the elections and to get it to go into their favor. And so they're going to basically be doing everything they can to create as much chaos as possible to really sway the elections. What I'm particularly concerned about is that I do see a lot of weirdness with regards to the debates that are coming up. In fact, we may not even have all 3 debates. I just feel like there could be some delays or some energy that kind of like puts that off. However, I feel a lot of this orchestrated energy, so I almost feel like all these protests and all these riots that are going to be coming out are going to be, they're going to be set up. So I'm worried too, because I feel like I keep on seeing images of a mob, and it seems to be around the White House. So I actually kind of feel like that might be more towards the month of November, maybe around the elections. But I'm really feeling that this month is going to be particularly difficult on Donald Trump, mostly because I see a lot of people really wanting to take him down. And I feel like he's going to be very fearful of his life in the next 30 days or so, especially prior to the elections. I feel like there's going to be more assassination attempts, and it feels like he's going to be under immense attack. It's going to be very, very challenging for him. So again, I mean, I've said this before, I'm a very impartial person, and I have my feelings about the elections or whatever, but I'm also a believer in being a compassionate and loving and kind person, and I don't believe that it's acceptable to have this negative, angry, volatile energy towards a person that we don't even know. So the media tends to kind of skew things quite a bit to sway the narrative or to sway decisions. And it's very important for you guys to be aware of this and how you are being manipulated when it comes to information coming from the media. Just throwing that out there. You could like him, you can hate him, that's fine. Just if you have violent feelings or hatred, it's a good thing to assess that within yourself and find out where these feelings are actually coming from. Perhaps it's work that needs to be done on yourself. Oftentimes when we feel a certain way about a person, there's usually some sort of work that we haven't been able to fix within ourselves, whether it's from past trauma or from pain or from hurt. And oftentimes when our emotions are being manipulated and played with, a lot of times that we will see this circumstance and our own emotions will come out to the surface because there is some inner work that we have failed to do on ourselves as individuals. So something to keep in mind. Aside from that, we are going to potentially even see a new virus pop up that could potentially affect children. Now, with kids going back to school gradually, especially with the hybrid models, I think that there will probably be a new virus type of energy that comes up that could affect children somehow, and also be used as some sort of political weapon. So I've told some clients before, because they're confused on whether or not they should keep them in school or keep them homeschooled or to bring them back to school. Honestly, I think the best solution right now is to keep them home, because kids are going to be used as a political tool here, and I know that I wouldn't want my child to be a part of that right now. So it's not so much like I'm really afraid of the health aspect, but more kind of like the political aspect. So probably best to keep your kids in homeschool until all of this blows over, which it will. I do believe, on the plus side, we're really going to see a lot of truth come out this month, which is really good. And I think that that's actually kind of what starts this mass awakening, because we're going to see things that we never really thought were possible, or the people that kept on ignoring all the facts, they're going to be really faced with some hard realities about what's been going on. So I think that we're going to see a lot more information be revealed. So keep your mind open, okay? And mind and ears open to what's about to come out, because there will be a lot of truth coming out, but there's also going to be a lot of misinformation. So it's very important to use discernment, because I see both. I see the truth coming out, but then I'm also seeing disinformation, and this disinformation will be coming from the media, but also it will come from the conspiracy theorist groups. And you do need to pay attention to that. Again, both sides, whether they're on your team or they're not on your team, they're both kind of in the business to play on your emotions to get you riled up. So just be very cognizant about that and the information that you receive. I do see huge indicators and huge proofs coming out, especially when it comes to election fraud. We're already starting to see that with ballots being thrown away, being sold, getting lost, miscounted. We're already starting to see that energy, and I think we're going to start to see more of that. So it's going to be crazy. I feel like because Trump's life is in danger, he's going to be, I do see him in hiding. So this could either be October or November, but either way, I see him in hiding. And there may be some sort of mob that sits outside of the White House or something like that that might want to go after him. So, and again, this is going to be orchestrated as well. On a bigger, more global scale, again, like I said, we're going to see more riots, more protesting, a big, huge global awakening. And then I really do feel like natural disasters will be very prevalent too. I also see volcanoes, and I also see like weird weather patterns. So possibly like snow in places that shouldn't be snowing, or earthquakes where it shouldn't be earthquaking. So yeah, just be prepared for that. I see a lot of water energy, so I feel like the hurricanes are going to be extra hard. This could create flooding, this could create tsunamis, but I do see a lot of water energy, so be careful. This is definitely going to be biblical in a lot of ways, because we're going to just see so much craziness, and we're starting to feel that energy kind of come up. So we do have to be cognizant about that. I think we're going to really see some really crazy events. I do see possibly government intervention happening with certain cities. It could be because of all of this rioting, all this protesting energy. I think we're going to probably see more government intervention sweeping in. I think Trump may actually kind of gain a little bit more control this time around, whereas before he was kind of sitting back and kind of seeing how things were getting handled. But I have a feeling that he's going to be stepping forward even more strongly this month in order to get things under control. I do feel like we're going to see some big names being revealed from the Jeffrey Epstein logs. I think that that's really going to be a highlight of this year, as well as, again, a lot of other truths being revealed, a lot of shockers, I guess you could say, we're going to be experiencing. So, all in all, in a nutshell, October is going to be a wild month, and there's going to be a lot that happens. But like I said, this is going to be the catalyst of the Great Awakening. So we're going to see a lot of volatile energy between October and December, okay? November may actually end up being one of our worst months here in this year. October, like September, was kind of more like prepping for that energy. It was chaotic, but October is going to be like November, and then December is still going to be crazy, and then we move into the new year when things actually start to get a little better. So we're almost there, guys. Keep your vibration high, be loving to one another. Don't allow yourself to get upset or frustrated with everything that's going on, because it's just going to lower your vibration and make you feel shitty. And we don't need to feel like that, because the collective consciousness is very low vibrational. However, one thing I want to mention to you that my guides have been really informing me, and this is really good for you guys to listen to and understand, is that there's a door that's open right now for the manifestation and abundance. So use this opportunity to start visualizing your future and creating it, and what it is that you want to do and who you want to be for the coming years ahead, because there's a prime opportunity to take advantage of this window. It's like the way that I was hearing this is that I don't know, almost kind of like a portal has been opened, and so the collective consciousness that are vibrating higher, they'll be able to take advantage of this opportunity to start manifesting their dreams and desires. So get on this, write, visualize, create a vision board, do some affirmations, whatever it is that you need to do to start setting your life moving forward, because you have the power to change your life and make it better and make it higher vibrational. And I want to just give you that insight so that way you can take advantage of it, because it's going to be an awesome opportunity for you guys. So with that, I hope this helps and it gives you an understanding of what's to come. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you could always do so by going to my website at itsyouruniverse.com, and we could set up a personal reading to help you navigate what's coming up going forward and to see if you could use some personal guidance. Other than that, I wish you guys a very safe and happy journey, and I will be back more to give you more insight. So take care, guys.